Shaker, which I listened to all of it, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for your help in this game. So I'd like to give you guys a little credit for our win tonight. So we got to listen to all your insight during the game.
You're watching Umoja 2 TV.
You're watching Umoja 2 TV.
You're watching Umoja 2 TV.
You're watching Umoja TV.
Oh, deep three goes by. Oh, baby, here goes. He goes up. He throws it. Yeah!
Set up. Oh, beautiful play, and he bangs it down.
2 to 39. Turns her up. Jones around the three. Fire! Josh Hyman, stop. Pull. Fire!
To Reinich. Reinich again pulls up for three. Splash! I gotta tell Jordan looks to penetrate. Pulls up for three. Splash!
Good pass. Latif goes to open. Welcome to Umoja 2 TV. I'm Coach Danzy alongside my partner, Coach Fuller. Coach,
what's goody?
We're out again, Coach. Caught a few games this week. Some exciting play. A lot of shots being made. A lot of clutch shots being made. A lot of tough rebounds. A lot of nice dribble moves. A lot of things going on this week, Coach. A lot of excitement.
Absolutely, Coach.
You know, some big games too, Coach. What you got? Anything you want to address? Any burning desires right now in your heart?
No, the burning desires on my heart come later.
Oh man, you want to start this off? You want to start this off early, I see, huh? Okay, I only want this action, bro. But we'll move on.
I'm about that action. Marshawn Lynch type.
Okay, Coach. And a week review that we always do every week, Coach. We're gonna talk about some of the games that we went to and we prepared ourselves to go watch and go see. And first up was a fabulous game, Coach, between two Blue Division foes in the Suburban Council. Saratoga inviting CBA brothers to their gym, Coach. What do you want to say about that particular game, Coach?
Oh man, I got a lot to say about that game. That was a good barometer game for both programs. We always think CBA is a viable team, and they always come to play, and they're a well-coached team. And Saratoga, a team that's been, pulling out some really close games down the stretch and trying to find their identity and play a complete 32 minutes of basketball, as Coach Usher had alluded to. So it was an interesting matchup. So Saratoga, can they continue their streak, the Blue Streaks continuing their streak, or can the brothers of CBA come in and put a halt to it? Right. So it was a great matchup, and it was exciting, and the Blue Streaks were able to come in and withstand their territory and keep rolling.
That's right, Coach. I mean, you got the Blue Streaks, Coach, of Saratoga winning that by 10, Coach, 63 over CBA to 53. So 63-53, and Coach, they were up like 16, between 16 and 12 towards the end of that game, majority of that second half.
They were.
You know what I mean?
They were.
So after the halftime, it was a different Blue Streaks team.
Yes.
That came out of the locker room.
And it's funny you say that, because earlier in the game, I'll talk more about that. CBA were up by like about 12-14, at one juncture. And Saratoga has a very good knack of coming out. We saw that up in when we went to see them up in Onondaga College?
Yeah, Onondaga
Community College. We saw that with the Henninger team when they came out at halftime.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they just come out after half, made some game time adjustments, which Coach Usher and the Blue Streaks are good at. Mm-hmm. And you saw they went to a matchup zone, extended the full court pressure a little bit against CBA, and it turned the tide totally. And CBA offense became totally stifled at that point.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, Jordan King, Coach, is a fabulous player. He gets the job done, but he just couldn't find it. And early on, he was doing a good job of feeding his guys, getting guys involved early. You know what I mean? And And then he started getting going a little bit, and then it just went south for him. You know what I mean? So I think that Jordan King really does, like I said prior to the game, a future matchup, that he has to get his. And when I say his, I mean his in a way that's gonna. Him getting his is helping his team. You know what I mean? Not being selfish. And if he can get his in the flow of the game, they're going to be fine. You know what I mean? I just think that when he takes those unnecessary shots where you think he got to get like a 10-point shot to get back in the game, that's not going to go down.
Right.
You're going to put your team in a bigger hole when you do that. You know
because what I saw in that game was, remember, after the first quarter, we talked about it during the sportscast, we said, wow, these guys are up by like whatever it was, 8-10, you don't quote me there, but we were like, look at that. And Jordan King didn't score his first point from the foul line until like 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and they had a lead.
Yes.
And it was almost like he was like, I'm not okay with this. This is not totally okay. I got to come out and start to assert myself more.
Yeah.
And you saw where he started to assert himself more, take some of them shots that you're talking about, and then you saw the lead start to diminish more and more. And then when he went in the zone, and then Grimes was hesitant to pull the trigger, Foley was hesitant to pull the trigger, you started to see a CBA team that was very unsure of themselves. Which is funny to make it interesting, because we talked to some people, and they said that whole having Amsterdam during the holiday break twice, it wasn't a battle-tested thing for them. It wasn't a preparation game for them. They blew out these guys by like 30, 40 points. So it really didn't prepare them for a game like this. You know what I mean? So, and looking at their schedule, CBA really hasn't really beat anybody noteworthy to date. They're a viable team. We know that with Signer and those guys, but they haven't really beat anybody noteworthy to date. They lost to Boston Spa. Now they come off a game with Bethlehem. They lost on last night. King again had 37. He lit it up, but the other team, when it came fourth quarter, they became stifled, and they lost to Saratoga. So CBA has some work to do to find out really what their identity are.
I know too, Coach. It might have been a little offsetting, but you had Murray coming out, who barely even touched the box score all season, coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm out there, and giving it. I don't know if that might have rocked him a little bit, like off kilter or just a little bit. Having a guy like that to step up, he started taking shots, Coach, that was uncharacteristic of
but then he started, but his aggressiveness, he started scoring and getting some things done. And then the second half, he disappeared for a while. When I say disappeared, no, he was on the bench. He was on the bench for the third period. At one juncture, he was on the bench for a while. And I just thought that the way this guy came in and giving you energy and giving you effort and was being aggressive, I thought that this was a guy that you may want to have stayed with a little longer, because the other guys, their offense became so stagnant that guys were afraid to pull the trigger. And it's one thing, and King ain't afraid to pull the trigger, but as a point guard, he has to do a better job, like he did in that first period, with facilitating and understanding that you don't necessarily need 30. You know what I mean? That maybe when the team offenses starts to get a little stifled and things of that nature, then you can assert yourself a little bit more. He looks to assert himself all the time. He has his foot on the gas pedal all the time. And sometimes, and that can make your other team hesitant sometimes.
You're right about that.
No, I don't want to go too much on CBA. Saratoga has something to be said about
I'm about to say that, because my thing is like, you said they were hesitant. The shooters were Grimes and Foley. Those guys were running guys off the three-point line with a high hand. Guys had to put the ball on the floor and go to the basket. You know what I mean? So the scouting and everything that Usher put into that game seemed to be very, very helpful and worked a lot.
Yeah, we spoke to Usher. He said that he scouted the Boston Spa game, and he said that he saw that they had amounted a lot of points against Boston Spa early. And then Boston Spa went to a zone and started to give them trouble. So teams might be figuring out something that, go to a zone and contain Jordan, and then you have a good chance of winning. You know what I mean? But Saratoga, on the other hand, that's a big win for them. They keep rolling. Chudy was big in that game again, asserting himself and his dominance. It's hard for anybody as of a big man to be able to stay with him down low.
Yeah, Coach. He's like part of the premier big man in the league right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Usually I disagree with you. Hard press. I have to check some of your stuff and what you said, but that right there, I think you have a point.
Yeah, we don't have too many in the league that are true big men that like to beat down on the post. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So we don't have that. And imagine, Coach, I don't hate to harp on this, but imagine if Andrew Padno was still there.
Oh wow.
Oh, Coach!
Oh baby.
Huh?
Oh baby. So
be nutty. But
and Foxy again.
Yeah. Fox came out, Coach. I mean, he hit another big three in that game, Coach, to keep the momentum in their favor as well. Aiden Holmes did his thing. He did well in that game as well. I just think guys were just more energetic even in the early goings of that game, I know Coach said he wanted them to play full 32 minutes. I thought the energy level was up. I just think that you had the guys who you wanted to score, like Murray. You gonna beat this with him? Go ahead. You know what I mean? Let that guy get his early. You know what I mean? So I felt personally that the energy level was up all game.
I agree with you. And one thing that you said, and you've been harping on a little bit during our weekly shows, is that Rogan. You said, the sophomore, and he came and he starting to assert himself, and you're starting to see that he's getting more comfortable as a sophomore.
Yes.
And if this kid, with big size that he is, and what he brings to the table, and he likes to defend.
Yes.
If this kid continues to get into the flow of that offense with Saratoga and Aiden Holmes coming on.
Yeah, man. So if he's getting in the gym like Aiden Holmes does in the morning, who knows what this guy's going to turn out to be?
I'm telling you now.
Okay, Coach. Any last parting words on that game? That was a fabulous game, Coach, and I was excited for all the fans to see. Great Section 2 basketball up there.
CBA, I think, got more questions than answers right now. That's what I think I take from that game, and I think on the other hand, Saratoga is starting to get a lot more answers than questions.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on then. The game that we went to go see as well, Averill Park versus Columbia, Coach. Averill Park hosted Columbia in that game, and it was like a 54-45 victory for the AP Warriors, Coach. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a very exciting game. It was a good matchup of two teams that's kind of been in right there and want to be relevant this year. These are teams who historically hasn't been that relevant in the scheme of things that you have to worry about. This year it's a little bit different. You got two teams that is relevant. You have to have on your calendar. You have to be mindful of. And Averill Park came in, hosting Columbia, and Averill Park continues to show that they're a viable team. That we're here. It's not a fluke.
No.
You know what I mean? You got to be worried about us. And they look to make damage in that. In that game, you saw up and down game 2 battle back and forth game with Columbia coming out. Averill Park coming out and seemingly we're gonna go ahead and run away and hide somewhere.
First 9 points, Coach.
Yeah, first 9 points. Bright Price coming out, bang. Hitting threes back to back. So it was okay, it's going to be a long night. They went on a 12-0 run to open the game. He was it's going to be a long night for Columbia. And then all of a sudden, Columbia started chipping away. Bing. Zwanka, he started, had made a living on the foul line. You got Rainville started coming in.
And we met.
Kumek.
Started doing his thing.
He started doing his thing as well. Absolutely. So, it became a little battle night, and it was a really good game, and it was nip and tuck all the way through.
That's right.
With Averill Park being able to distance themselves at the end.
That's right. Coach, we have to have a disclaimer there. We had some equipment technical difficulties in that game, so we weren't able to repair it. So that footage of that game won't be uploaded, and our apologies are to the people who wanted to see that game. We had a couple fans there got a little exuberant.
A little excited.
And knocked over some of our equipment there, so we had a little malfunction. But we do have about a couple clips that we did salvage, and we're gonna put them up as well. But and we do have the post game interviews. So and we'll definitely have that uploaded and for you. You'll see them actually before this. So
our apologies out there, especially to the Averill Park faithful, because you guys have been very supportive of what we do here.
Yes, you have.
So we definitely wanted to have that footage available to you guys. So our apologies.
Now, Coach, what do you think about Dave Pugliese's, how he does things over there at Averill Park? What do you think about his style of play and his coaching ability and everything? I remember DeSickis said praises about the guy.
Yeah, now you're starting to see why I said praises about him and things of that name. I mean, Pugliese says, he says it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard, but these guys that he has are prepared. These guys are working hard. All they got to do is keep winning and keep doing the little things and getting those things done and keep working hard, and the rest of the stuff will take care of itself.
And he talked about that heart.
Yes.
He talked about what we got to continue to do is just bring that, especially in that fourth quarter. He said,
right.
What adjustment did you make in that game? He said in the fourth quarter, he just said, bring that heart.
Bring that heart.
Bring the heart.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
I mean,
over there with Price, I like Price.
Coach, Price is fabulous.
Yes, I like Price.
And Pascucci is no slouch. He stepped up, Coach. Price got in foul trouble.
Yep.
You know what I mean? After Price was light it up.
Yeah.
And to lose a guy that's so much offensively inclined,
right,
and have another guy step in his shoes, and carry it on.
That's a fact.
Come on, we see a lot of other teams that can't do that, coach. Once their main guys can't find it, they go one high.
And when we talked to Pascucci, I talked to him. I said, with Hacker experienced a little bit of foul trouble too. That's right. And I said to him, it looked like you had in your mind that you were just going to go downhill, and no guys can stay in front of you, and you're going to put it on your back. And he talked about how, yes, normally these guys, Price, I kind of like facilitate to these guys, set my teammates up. But when foul trouble happens or something happens where I have to take a little bit more weight on my shoulders, then I'm prepared to do it, and I'll go about that business of doing it.
That's right. Coach, what do you got? And then, the game was this nip and tuck, got a little heated there too. Got some technical fouls being called on both teams.
Yes.
One for yelling something at a referee, and the other one was for staring at a player. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's how. And it was during crunch time during that game
too, Coach. It was during crunch time. Yes, it was.
So you have anything to say about those things there?
Well, the thing about it is that this is what there's a lot of times in understanding, like, when those situations happen, like, game management is so important, especially these days. You don't want things to get out of hand because things can happen so quickly. An elbow is thrown or a shove or something is said and the kid retaliates. So during good game management, in those situations, you just want to try to prevent anything from happening. So sometimes kids, if you stare at a kid too long, it might precipitate a kid shoving you or doing something like that. So officials try to get in and try to do a little bit preventive measure in that situation. But there were really some tough calls down there that could have swung the game too as well. So,
Coach, we got to give a shout out to the fan base over there, the Gold Mine.
The Gold Mine, yes, absolutely.
They were rocking it out. That's probably the biggest student section we've had all season, that we've seen all season.
Oh, I don't know.
On our broadcast, who was bigger than that?
The blue streak up there.
I don't know if they're bigger than that one.
Okay, well, I don't know.
You know what I mean? We got to see it again.
You selling your number one team short?
You're
you selling your number one team short? Is Averill Par your number one team now? The Gold Mines and all this.
I'm talking about student section. I'm talking about the team. That's totally different. But Coach, that just showed me how much support that they're getting over there, and how well they're doing. And I think you asked Coach a question about that, about having the people coming to see them and support them.
These kids play hard. They play together. They share the ball. So people want to come watch us play. When you win, that puts cherry on top. I think they do things the right way. I'm really proud of them. I love these guys. And they showed it tonight. The fans came and watched. The gym was great. The atmosphere was super. I'm sure it was fun to play. I enjoyed coaching. And the community's kind of climbing on board because of how we're playing, in my opinion. I tell these guys all the time, when you play the right way, people enjoy that.
Oh yeah, what he talked about basically was like, the community is starting to jump on board. The community is realizing that, we are a team to be reckoned with. We're a team that's viable. And he talked about, I told the kids, as long as you keep doing the little things and you keep winning, the community will jump on board. And so that's what you have there. So and it's funny because Averill Par traditionally, girls is always rude. You know what I mean? So they got a lot to be excited about this year with girls always being viable. Now your boys are viable. Your AP over there feeling themselves.
Real talk.
You know what I mean?
Coach, also like the young fella for them, the sophomore guard for Averill Par as well. I like him, Romer. Benjamin Romer. You know what I mean? He did some things, Coach, that he's party. We got to do a super soft list. He's on my super soft list. I'm not living today now. You know what I mean? We got a couple soft. You got Rogan over here. We got a few softs. But
that's a fact. I like. You know what? This is the thing. Now I was a little bit taken aback by his overly aggressiveness, what I would call it, because you never want to really derail a kid from being aggressive. So he's very aggressive, and for a sophomore, that speaks volumes, and that's only could bode well for him. I would think that just a little curtailing. He took some ill-advised shots in that game that he was really trying to assert himself. And I was like, just a little young fella, just ease back a little bit. You got Price over there, you got Hacker over there, you got Pascucci. Pick your spots. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. You might have had it confused, Coach, because I think he did a lot of that stuff when Zach was in foul trouble.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's noteworthy.
But that's the type of coach you are, though. You like that. You like that. Me, I'm a little more. I like a guy that just shows that ability.
Take any shot, right?
No. He took. I didn't see a shot he took that was crazy.
No, it's like, first of all, when you think about shots, you got to think about game, time, shots. Like, what point are we in the game?
Right.
Possession-wise, do we need that right now? Right. What should you do? And as a sophomore, it's to be expected.
Right.
You're young.
Right.
So,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, situations like that, I would just a little, like, you may want to pull that one out. Maybe looking for your shot a little bit too much there, you know. But you make a good point. You see other guys come out, he might be that kind of guy. Like, yo, I'm ready. We're not going to slack just because he's on the bench. It's my time. So, there's something to be said about that.
And you're going to need guys like that, you know, later on in the season, especially during playoff time, sectional time. You're going to need guys that's going to step up.
That's a fact. And I'll end it on that. Coaches typically look for that guy who's not on the radar, what we typically refer to as the X factor.
That's right.
Going down the stretch. And he could definitely be one of those guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got, like you said, though, they got a couple guys down there, Coach. You know, they got Hacker, you got McCart. You know what I mean? We could go on about Averill Par, Coach. They got some guys that can play.
Definitely. That's the whole fact. And Columbia, I mean, they did a good job. They definitely battled, and that was, you know, that was good. I mean, Averill Par, I'm sorry, I get back Letco. I don't want to overlook him. Nice strong player too, defensive guy and everything. So yes, but
like you said, Columbia coach Swanka played well.
He did.
Queemet played well. He got a little range in the shot too, Coach.
Yes, he does.
I think he's the leading scorer for Columbia as well. You got him. You got Frank Rainville, who he's a young player, first year on varsity, doing well for them, running the show.
That's a fact.
He's in the game. So I see some pieces there that can be worked with over there at Columbia, Coach. That if they get it together. I see why they beat a couple teams this year.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. They definitely beat a couple teams this year.
Yeah.
They still got their work to cut out for them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, basically, they haven't. I mean, they beat McKill, which was a nice victory. But other than that, they're right there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, Coach. Any parting words on that one?
No, I'm excited for Averill Par and what they're putting together over there in the season they have, and it's going to be interesting to see how they fare going into the sectional season and the latter part of the season as well.
Yeah. Okay, so the last game that we got footage on, we did not broadcast it, but Albany High game where Academy invited Albany High to their home space.
Albany Academy?
Albany Academy invited Albany High to their home space. All right, so that was a game that Academy came out like to do what they do, come out real fast, stormy, put the foot on the pedal, and then Albany High kind of got back into the game a little bit, Coach. And then once again, Academy find their scruples and.
But see, a game like that, I wasn't there. You covered that game. A game like that, when you say Albany got back into the game, that's one of those games where teams know they can put the foot on the gas pedal anytime and just So it's like, okay, we done smacked you a little bit around. We're chilling right now. And now you come into the party a little bit. You certain yourself. And he's like, oh, okay. All right, they'll smack you up around again. And that's that kind of thing. So I don't even know how much I want to give credence to Albany High typically getting back into the game when you eventually lose by 40, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was something nutty. Yeah.
But they got back in the game, though.
I said they got back in, then they ran away with it. I did say that, right? They got back in and ran away with it. I was just saying, your perception sometimes. I'm just saying, the kids try, I want to give them their due, my thing is, when you see somebody working hard, you want to give them their credit, you know what I mean? So they had to get a little credit there, you know what I mean?
Wow.
You said, are you a Falcon or are you an alumni of Academy? Which one are you here?
Well, y'all remember, I coached at Academy.
Wow. Okay, Coach.
Falcon for life. Come on, stop.
So we had a few things there, Coach, in that game. You had August Mahoney get his 1000th point, career point.
August Mahoney gets 1,000 point.
That was like, see, he got on a free throw, I believe. But he was, from the outside, knocking the shot down, from the inside, doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he was fabulous that night. And it was congratulations to August Mahoney on, accomplishing that milestone.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, of course, you got the human highlight film. Andre Jackson out there doing what he does. You know what I mean? So high five again, and he looked well out there. And then you had Rob Brown, Coach. You know
I
what I
like
mean?
Rob Brown.
Yeah, Rob Brown, man, you can hit that jumper, coach. Go to
Solid.
the basket as well.
He's solid, yeah.
Yeah, coach. What do you think about his game? I mean, I know you've seen him this year.
I seen him several times. I seen him on the AAU circuit as well.
Right.
I mean, I like him. He plays with a lot of energy. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
Plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. So I like what he brings to the table for that Albany Academy team. He just pick his spots. He's still waiting to assert himself, but he's by no stretch of imagination any just out there or any just sham. This kid can play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Given his opportunities, he's going to cash in and take advantage of them.
Yeah, if I had to pick one thing, I always do pick one thing about a kid. I just think he just needs to be engaged, and he's been doing it. I must say, I hope he doesn't revert back to the old style. Just being engaged defensively all the way through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when the shot goes up, remember to box out. You know what I mean?
Right,
Those little minor things, I think.
Right,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It would just help
absolutely.
him go further along. But yeah, coach, that's it. The Academy has a game today, coach. They play collegiate, so just want to throw that out there real quick. They're down at collegiate today,
Oh, okay.
playing against them. They're usually a good team down there in New York City, so we'll see how they do today.